Igbo English is the principal native language of the Igbo people, an ethnic group of southeastern Nigeria. There are approximately 24 million speakers, who live mostly in Nigeria and are primarily of Igbo descent. Igbo is written in the Latin script, which was introduced by British colonialists. There are over 20 Igbo dialects. There is apparently a degree of dialect leveling occurring. A standard literary language was developed in 1972 based on the Owerri and Umuahia dialects, though it omits the nasalization and aspiration of those varieties. There are related Igboid languages such as Ika, Ikwe and Ogba that have sometimes considered dialects of Igbo, the most divergent being Ekpai. Igbo is also a recognized minority language of Equatorial Guinea. History. The first book to publish Igbo words was History of the Mission of the Evangelical Brothers in the Caribbean, published in 1777. Shortly afterwards, in 1789, the interesting narrative of the life of O Lord Ikweano was published in London, England. Written by O Lord Ikweano, a former slave, featuring 79 Igbo words. The narrative also illustrated various aspects of Igbo life based in detail, based on O Lord Ikweano's experiences in his hometown of Esaka. Central Igbo, the dialect from gaining widest acceptance, is based on the dialects of two members of the Ezinihit group of Igbo in central Owerri province between the towns of Owerri and Umuahia, eastern Nigeria. From its proposal as a literary form in 1939 by Dr. Ida C. Ward, it was gradually accepted by missionaries, writers, and publishers across the region. In 1972, the Society for Promoting Igbo Language and Culture, a nationalist organization which saw Central Igbo as an imperialist exercise, set up a standardization committee to extend Central Igbo to be a more inclusive language. Standard Igbo aims to cross-pollinate Central Igbo with words from Igbo dialects from outside the central areas, and with the adoption of loan words. Vocabulary. Igbo has an extremely limited number of adjectives in a closed class. A Mananjo counts just 8. UKWU, big, NTA, small, OG, dark, ochre, light, Ouru, new, Oki, old, Oma, good, Ojo, bad. Many names in Igbo are actually fusions of older original words and phrases. For example, one Igbo word for vegetable leaves is ʼɪɡboʊ, which literally means leaves for eating, or vegetables. Green leaves are called ʼɪɡboʊ because ndu means I. Another example is train, which comes from the words ugbo and igwe. Thus a locomotive train is vehicle via iron, a car. Ugbo-ela, vehicle via land, and an aeroplane ugbo-elu, vehicle via air. Words may also take on multiple meanings. Take for example the word ʼɪɡboʊ. ʼɪɡboʊ originally means leaf, but during and after the colonization period, ʼɪɡboʊ also came to be linked to paper, book, school, and education, to become respectively ʼɪɡboʊ acute de acute emi acute de acute ʼɪɡboʊ agagu ulo ʼɪɡboʊ mmuta ʼɪɡboʊ. This is because printed paper can be first linked to an organic leaf, and then the paper to a book, the book to a school, and so on. Combined with other words, ʼɪɡboʊ can take on many forms. For example, ʼɪɡboʊ ego means printed money or banknotes, and ʼɪɡboʊ acute j acute and jm means passport. Proverbs and idiomatic expressions are highly valued by the Igbo people, and proficiency in the language means knowing how to intersperse speech with a good dose of proverbs. Chinua Achebe describes proverbs as the palm oil with which words are eaten. Proverbs are widely used in the traditional society to describe, in very few words, what could have otherwise required 1,000 words. Proverbs may also become euphemistic means of making certain expressions in the Igbo society. Thus the Igbo have come to typically rely on this as avenues of certain expressions. Phonology. Igbo is a tonal language with two distinctive tones, high and low. In some cases a third, downstepped high tone is recognized. The language's tone system was given by John Goldsmith as an example of autosegmental phenomena that go beyond the linear model of phonology laid out in the sound pattern of English. Igbo words may differ only in tone. An example is aqua cry, aqua bed, aqua egg, and aqua cloth. As tone is not normally written, these all appear as aqua in print. The language features vowel harmony with two sets of oral vowels distinguished by pharyngeal cavity size described in terms of retracted tongue root. These vowels also occupy different places in vowel space. For simplicity, phonemic transcriptions typically choose only one of these parameters to be distinctive, either RTR as in the chart at right in Igbo orthography, or vowel space as in the alphabetic chart below. There are also nasal vowels. Adjacent vowels usually undergo assimilation during speech. The sound of a preceding vowel, usually at the end of one word, merges in a rapid transition to the sound of the following vowel, particularly at the start of another word, giving the second vowel greater prominence in speech. Usually the first vowel is only slightly identifiable to listeners, usually undergoing centralization. For example, becomes goodbye. An exception to this assimilation may be with words ending in a, such as na in narela on the ground, which could be completely assimilated leaving n in rapid speech, as in nala or nala. In other dialects, however, the instance of a, such as in na in onareria na I, he, she, it is eating, results in a long vowel oniria na I. Igbo does not have a contrast among voice occlusives. The one precedes oral vowels, and the other nasal vowels. Only a limited number of consonants occur before nasal vowels, including f, z, s. In some dialects, such as the Nwu-Alphabet, the doubly articulated b and kp are realized as a voice, devoiced by labial implosive. The approximant is realized as an alveolar tap between vowels as in ara. The Nwu-Alphabet dialect is very much similar to a Nwu spoken among the Igbo and Yoma people in Delta State. To illustrate the effect of phonological analysis, the following inventory of a typical central dialect is taken from Clark. Nasality has been analyzed as a feature of consonants, rather than vowels. Avoiding the problem of why so few consonants occur before nasal vowels has also been analyzed as CV. Syllables are of the form V or N. CV is the most common syllable type. Every syllable bears a tone. Consonant clusters do not occur. The semivowels, j, and with can occur between consonant and vowel in some syllables. The semivowel in CJV is analyzed as an underlying vowel I, so that beer is the phonemic form of bj at come. On the other hand, w in CWV is analyzed as an instance of labialization, so the phonemic form of the verb GW at L. A. Writing system. The Igbo people have long used Nsibidi ideograms, invented by the neighboring Ekoi people, for basic written communication. They have been used since at least the 16th century, but died out publicly after they became popular amongst secret societies such as the EKPE. who used them as a secret form of communication. Nsibidi, however, is not a full writing system, because it cannot transcribe the Igbo language specifically. In 1960, a rural landowner and dibia named Nwu Alphabet developed a syllabary for the Umuleri dialect of Igbo. The script, named after him as the Nwu Alphabet script, was used to write hundreds of diary entires until Anaka's death in 1991. The Nwu Alphabet project is working on translating Nwu's commentary and diary. The wide variety of spoken dialects has made agreement on a standardized orthography of Igbo difficult. The current Nwu alphabet, a compromise between the older Lepsius alphabet and a newer alphabet advocated by the International Institute of African Languages and Cultures, was agreed to in 1962. It is presented in the following table, with the international phonetic alphabet equivalents for the characters. The graphemes GB and KP are described both as co-articulated B and KP and as implosives, so both values are included in the table. M and N each represent two phonemes, a nasal consonant and a syllabic nasal. Tones are sometimes indicated in writing, and sometimes not. When tone is indicated, low tones are shown with a grave accent over the vowel, for example AA, and high tones with an acute accent over the vowel, for example AA. Usage in the diaspora. As a consequence of the Atlantic slave trade, the Igbo language was spread by enslaved Igbo people throughout slave colonies in the Americas. These colonies include the United States, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Belize, Barbados, and the Bahamas. Examples can be found in Jamaican patois. The pronoun unu used for you is taken from Igbo. Red Igbo refers to a fair-skinned black person because of the reported account of a fair yellowish skin tone among the Igbo. So meaning only comes from Igbo. The word bim, a name for Barbados, was commonly used by enslaved Barbadians. This word is said to derive from the Igbo language, derived from Bimu, but it may have other origins. In recent times, Igbo people in the diaspora are putting resources in place to make the study of the language accessible.